What if you woke up tomorrow morning, glanced at your phone, and saw your bank account at zero? Every penny you've ever saved gone. Your retirement fund vanished. Your investments worthless. This isn't a scene from a Hollywood blockbuster. This is a very real, terrifying possibility. So, what would actually happen if the global economy collapsed tomorrow? Let's explore this scenario, step by devastating step. In the first few hours, the world as we know it would grind to a halt. The initial shockwave would hit the financial system. ATMs would go dark, refusing to dispense cash. A tidal wave of people would rush to their banks, desperate to withdraw their life savings, only to find locked doors or tellers with nothing to give. The lines wouldn't just be at banks, they'd snake around supermarkets. Within minutes, shelves would be stripped bare. Canned goods, bottled water, baby formula, essential medicines, all gone. People would grab anything they could, a primal instinct for survival kicking in. Meanwhile, on screens across the globe, the stock market would nosedive into oblivion. Trillions of dollars of digital wealth, wiped out in an instant. The life's work of millions evaporated. That piece of paper in your wallet, that dollar bill, that euro, that yen. It would revert to being just that. Paper. Its value, its promise, completely erased. As the initial shock subsides, the second phase would begin, the complete breakdown of daily life. The complex interconnected web that keeps our modern world running would unravel with frightening speed. Gas stations would be the first to go dark. With no functioning payment systems and disrupted supply chains, fuel would become more precious than gold. The arteries of global trade, our shipping lanes and flight paths, would clog and then stop. Planes would be grounded, container ships would sit idle in ports, and trucks would be abandoned on highways. The constant flow of goods that we take for granted would cease. Your Amazon package? It's not coming. The fresh fruit from another continent? A distant memory. Hospitals, the last bastions of hope, would face a critical crisis. Without the ability to pay for new shipments, supplies of medicine, bandages, and life-saving equipment would dwindle rapidly. Surgeries would be postponed indefinitely. And in the sprawling cities, a new contagion would spread, one far more rapid than any virus: panic. Without money, trade stops. Without trade, the fundamental organizing principle of our society collapses. The invisible hand of the market would be gone, replaced by the very visible fist of chaos. This chaos would then ripple outwards, touching every single person on the planet. Millions, perhaps billions, would lose their jobs overnight. From the corporate executive in a high-rise tower to the factory worker on the assembly line, unemployment would become the new norm. The world's largest corporations, these titans of industry, would shut their doors. Their global supply chains, their international workforces, all rendered obsolete in a world without a functioning economy. As nations grapple with internal collapse, the instinct for self-preservation would turn ugly. The blame game would begin. Countries would point fingers, accusing each other of financial sabotage or hoarding resources. International cooperation would shatter, replaced by aggressive nationalism. On the streets, the veneer of civilization would wear thin. Civil unrest would erupt. Protests over food shortages, riots for clean water, and battles for resources would turn peaceful neighborhoods into battlegrounds. The delicate social contract that binds us together would be torn to shreds. The world as we have known it, the stable, predictable world we were born into, would unravel thread by thread. If this economic winter were to last for weeks, the consequences would be catastrophic. We would face global famine on a scale unseen in modern history. The sophisticated agricultural systems that feed 8 billion people rely on fuel, fertilizer, and international trade, all of which would be gone. If the collapse stretches into months, the very foundations of our political structures would crumble. Governments, unable to provide basic services or maintain order, would fall. Warlords and local strongmen might rise to fill the power vacuum. leading to endless conflict. And if this state of collapse were to last for years, humanity could be plunged into a new dark age. The great advancements of the last few centuries, science, medicine, technology, could be lost. Future wars wouldn't be fought over oil or ideology, but over the most basic elements of survival: a loaf of bread, a clean source of water. It would be a regression to a more brutal, primitive state of existence. But amidst this bleak projection, is there a glimmer of hope? Can we pull back from the brink? History offers some perspective. Economies have collapsed before. The Great Depression of 1929 plunged the world into despair, and the 2008 financial crisis brought us terrifyingly close to the edge. Yet, in both cases, nations survived, rebuilt, and eventually recovered. Humanity is resilient. Some experts believe our salvation could lie in new forms of exchange. Perhaps decentralized digital currencies, free from government control, could fill the void. Or maybe we would return to the oldest form of money: gold and other precious metals. On a smaller scale, communities might create their own barter systems and local trading networks, fostering a new kind of grassroots economy based on trust and mutual support. Other thinkers argue that technology and localism aren't enough. They believe that only strong, decisive governance and a renewed sense of global unity could navigate such a crisis and prevent a total societal breakdown. But one thing remains certain: if the global economy were to collapse tomorrow, the world and humanity itself would be changed forever. So, this brings me to a crucial question for you. If money suddenly became worthless tomorrow, if the entire system we depend on disappeared, what would you rely on? What skills, what resources, what relationships would become your new currency? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Your answer might be more important than you think. And if you found this thought experiment valuable, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that challenges the way we see our world. Thank you for watching.